Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Otts here. It's Sunday morning, and we got game time here in the six. In the six, the T Dot is hosting the game today at Scottie Bank Arena, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Chicago Bulls are in town. Demar Derozan, Goran Dragic. Whoa! Woo! All right, you guys, I see you guys are here with a lot of comments. All right, let me just see what you guys are saying. Logical Raptors fanatic, thank you for being here. Almost freak time is what they're saying. T-minus 10 minutes, counting it down, just like Monique's counting it down to the regular season. Fun guy saying, he's got to go take a bathroom break, but he'll still be watching and supporting from the bathroom. That's a dedicated Raptor freak, is not letting his bowel movements get in the way of the entertainment here. Let's see. Oh, geez. Tom Duke saying, good morning, everyone. Who doesn't miss our old leader and perennial all-star Debo? Let's get this one. I imagine Raptors start to click today. I really hope so, Tom, because I'm going to tell you one thing. The man you just named is clicking already. This guy has been phenomenal in the first two preseason games for the Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan, he's averaged around 21 minutes, and he's averaging like 23 points in 2 games. That's right. Super consistent for the time he's out there. He's making everything happen efficiently, and he looks like the contrast of what our starters have looked like so far in this preseason. DeMar DeRozan has been very capable, very efficient, and very effective. So we have to watch out for him today because he is definitely on fire and playing very well already to start the preseason. Now, Chicago is 1-1 in their preseason. They lost the game to the New Orleans Pelicans that was actually very close, and it was quite a battle. But the Pelicans overcame them. And it's not that the Bulls played bad. They played very well. It's just that the Pelicans played that much better than them. And the Bulls won their other game also. So like I'm saying right now, and I'll start talking about the injuries right now, the Bulls are in good shape. This is not going to be an easy game today unless they decide to go to the bench. If we see Billy Donovan and Nick Nurse go to their benches early, start putting in bench guys, trying to test guys out for, who's going to make the team and stuff like that, then we may have an advantage. But the starters against the starters, the way it's been right now, the Bulls are rolling, and we're struggling right now. So hopefully Tom's right that the Raptors starting unit starts to click better and stuff like that. So salute to Tom Duke, official from Logical Raptors Freak. So, let me look at the injuries real quick for you guys. Injury report, Lonzo Ball is out. We know this. The man is having a hard time just running and jumping in the last month. And he is really their only main injury over on the other side of the ball for the Bulls is Lonzo. He's the only one. They've got everybody else there. And you guys know they have some new additions this year that they didn't have last year, like Andre Drummond and Goran Dragic. So right now they're starting Io at the point guard in Alonzo's absence. And Zach LaVine is showing up and playing right now. So he's healthy also. So we should expect to see most of the Chicago Bulls other than Lonzo Ball. That's Patrick Williams, Vucevic, Caruso, Javonte Green. They have a deep bench in some ways. Derek Jones Jr., the big backup center, Marko Simonovic. They've got some talent, Kobe White. So we should be ready for a good fight today. And yes, the game is here in Toronto, and we are going. I am, and I know that some of you are also going. So if you want to meet me at the game today, 4:20 at the Star Columns out front, I will be out front there waiting for them to open the doors at 4:30. And then you come and meet me there. I know Cool Cat and some other people are coming. Monique will be at the game also. And hopefully we can all get together and hang out and possibly sit together at the game. So I have some plans about possibly getting a little Raptor Freak group inside the building today to cause a ruckus and start rooting our team on to victory and stuff like that. Yeah, on the other side of the ball for the injuries, it is pretty much the same kind of stuff that we've been talking about this preseason so far. Otto Porter Jr., hamstring, should probably not be playing today. Malachi Flynn is probably not going to be playing today with his cheekbone injury. Fred VanVleet is listed, but, he was just on a rest day. So Fred's going to play today, guys. Freddie will be playing today. I will tell you that right now. And then, of course, Justin Champagnie. The mystery of Justin Champagnie and whether he will play, we don't know. Hopefully he will play because he needs to play. There's only 2 more preseason games, and time is running out for Justin to make a claim on being a roster player on the team this year and stuff like that. So it's pretty much the same injuries. Kem's not even listed this time. So Kem is clear. He's going to be there for sure. And happy Thanksgiving to you, Wendy Sparks. She said a nice Canadian happy Thanksgiving on Twitter this morning. So nice that the Raptors get involved in Canadian Thanksgiving. This weekend is such a weekend of giving from these guys. You know, we had OG and Nick Nurse at the Nick Nurse Foundation giving away stuff yesterday. Fred's Giving's going on this weekend. And then Gary's back in Columbus in Ohio giving away stuff to people also this weekend there too. So happy about the philanthropy and giving of the Toronto Raptors. It's so nice to see them give back to the community in all kinds of different ways in different places and stuff like that. So there's your injury report. It's pretty normal for us, what it's been, and then just Lonzo Ball on the other side. So the Bulls are very, very healthy and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Fun guys here. You laugh out loud. Yes, sir. A few games under our belt. Hopefully our conditioning is ramping up and we start looking energized today. Yeah, let's shock them up. Let's shock them up. Let's get them. Whoa, I woke up and I'm ready. You know, we need them to get out there and get after it. There's one thing I wish the Raptors would do more, and maybe they don't do this, or maybe they do this. I hope they do, because they want to think about their building as a castle, as a fortress, as like an old Spanish fort on the coast of Florida. That it's a battalion place, a place to make a stand and hold it and say, this is our place. Remember the Alamo, and like, you know, hold it down. And I want them to really take this kind of idea of like home court, protecting it, saying, this is our house. Y'all gonna come to our house. No. You ain't getting no W, you're getting an L if you come in our house. I really want them to start treating the building like this, like really get into this mentality, Raptors. Some teams really get a really good home court advantage because their team really gets it. Like, you coming in this house, ooh, you better watch out. Now, the fans, we bring it. We totally bring it all the time. But in the past few years, there are times where it seems like the Raptors are not feeling like this about their home court. That y'all need to take pride in coming into the Scotiabank Arena and taking it and holding it down and protecting that place from getting a loss from another team. That you get the W's in the Scotiabank Arena, and that other people don't come here to get wins. We get the wins when the games are here, because I want to protect home court this year in a whole new kind of way. Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, I do. All right, let's see. Nameless is here. Nameless is saying, good morning, chiming in, love from Hamilton this morning. Raptor Freak Club in Hamilton's in effect. Nameless, thank you for being here. I appreciate your patronage as usual. Salute to Nameless. Yes. Fun guy saying, we know our bench is going to have energy though. Let's go. Yes. Hopefully the bench comes and brings it. The end of the bench, the middle bench, but really starters. Come on. We need to see something good from y'all today. I really want to see y'all come out with some pride about how y'all play and say, this is who we really are. That y'all have not seen us yet. We're just getting things started, and we have not really fully shown y'all who we are again in this season coming up right now. And I hope that this is going to happen today. Really wanting the starters to do something. But like I said yesterday, this could be a game where we don't play a lot of the starters and we're really testing out the end of the bench and the middle guys and figuring out stuff for them and what's going to happen this year and stuff like that. So let's see. Pow. All right. Logical Raptors Fanatic saying, salute, Lex. You dropped me a plug in your latest video. Well, listen, I'll drop a plug for you right now. One hand washes the other. Logical Raptors Fanatic has a brand new video that he dropped yesterday. It's about an hour, and I believe it's about going to a championship run and all stuff like that. It has something to do with championship. I did not watch it yet, Logical, because I've been very busy because my family's in town this weekend, but I will get to it on my queue as soon as possible. Y'all check out Logical Raptors Fanatic on YouTube. Good content coming out all the time with all kinds of great facts and tidbits, things you will not know. The freaksters in the house. The freaksters in the house. Monique, good morning. I hope your ride is all set up and that you will see me sometime around 4:30, between 4:30 and 5 o'clock in that area of the building. You know where I'm talking about, Monique, that spot where you can run into so many great Raptor legends and Raptors personalities around the team and gotten your picture taken with them. Yeah, the one with you and Demar, the one with you and Sherman Hamilton, Amir Johnson, so many great names that Monique has gotten to meet over the years. Meet me there today between 4:30 and 5 at some point. I will be there, Monique, and hopefully other people will be with me. I know Adriana will be with me at least, and yeah, hopefully I'll be seeing you later, Monique. Good morning. Nameless is saying, yeah, Mo's going to the game. I'm going to the game. Logical Raptors Fanatic saying, not going to lie, I'm not even worried. This is all planned for the better. I explained Masai's plan and what's wrong with the team, in my opinion. Cool. All right. So that's what his content's about. He's talking about Masai's plan to get more championships and why everything's right on track. And we shouldn't worry at all that Masai has got it all figured out. And we know why things are going the way they are. Go Raptors is what Adriana's here saying. Yes, Adriana is here and she's going to be at the game too. All right. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, yes, Adriana, let's go. There's the 5 Raptors. Have fun, Mo. Yeah, it's going to be fun, guys. I'm really excited about doing a little mini meet and greet with you guys and seeing you face to face and just having a good time, bringing that Raptor freak spirit to the building today and letting them know we may be standing in one corner yelling, Tom Duke, Tom Duke. And then Scottie looks over and he's like, hey, and he salutes us because he hears us yelling Tom Duke at him here in Toronto. And he'd be like, whoa, Tom Duke, wait, he's in Victoria. What, he's here? And he's like, no, it's me. Ha ha. That would be funny. All right, let's see. Scottie Bank Arena will rise. Yes. I hope there's a good turnout today. Listen, yesterday is not. Listen, all right, I want to say something real quick right now, y'all. Toronto sports culture is very strange. It has a history. It has a history of disappointment. It has a history of ups and downs. And in fact, a lot of people will say there's more downs than ups. Well, I don't like to focus on downs. I like to focus on ups. And this shirt was an up. This is Game 1 Finals Golden State shirt, the Drake shirt, the famous shirt that was sitting in those chairs when I came in the arena for Game 1 against the Golden State Warriors. And we won that game. This is what I want to say right now to anyone who wants to put Raptors Nation anywhere near the Leafs or what's happened to the Blue Jays yesterday. Stop. We have a totally different culture, a totally different thing going on, and we ain't got nothing to do with that C word that y'all are saying right now about Toronto sports. It is bullshit. You guys want to have a loser mentality and believe in the C word about our city? I refuse to accept that for my team because we ain't about that C word. We go with the C word we use is called culture. And that is what will get us through any kind of adversity, any kind of things. And if we do lose like we did in the playoffs last year, we get a learning experience from it and we grow from it. And I know that the Blue Jays will get the same thing from their experience yesterday. But what a heartbreak. And how can you do this, Blue Jays? You have hurt the confidence of the Toronto sports fan across the board. And now people are like, Toronto sports, Chicken Littlein, and being all fucked up with their C word talk. I will refuse to say that word because I do not believe that word exists in my sphere and realm of sports. So y'all can go ahead and be losers and complain and whine about the C word. We ain't playing with that here in OVO world. Y'all can go ahead and be like that. I'm so heartbroken for the Blue Jays because I really did want them to succeed. But what an epic failure. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all had an 8-1 lead. What the hell happened to y'all? Y'all are making us look bad. And I am disassociating myself from the Blue Jays till at least next April at this point. And I am not going to tolerate any kind of linkages to our fan nation to what happens with the Blue Jays or the Leafs. This has been for years I've done this with the Leafs. Okay, sure, Leafs, you go on and be Leafs. We ain't got nothing to do with that. Tim Lewicki came and separated. He said he'd keep them separated. And that's what he did. He separated your dysfunction from our team so we could grow and actually start being successful. I'm not going to stand for this. So anybody who wants to link the Blue Jays and what happened to them in the last couple of days to the Toronto Raptors, just GTFO. because we ain't doing that. We ain't got nothing to do with that kind of energy, and we are not chokers, and we are not people that fail like this. We will come and bring it this year and believe in the Raptors. We have nothing to do with this. We go get championships. We make it happen, baby. So let's not let any of this stuff that's happened with the Blue Jays this weekend have nothing to do with us. We have our own separate energy. We have our own separate fan base in a lot of ways, and we have nothing to do with this kind of stuff. So that's what I want to say right now. I am sorry because I don't want to have anything to do with this. I love y'all Blue Jays. I feel so bad because I saw the lead in the middle of the game, and Adriana was at the game. And I texted Adriana. I said, hey, Adriana, you're good luck. I'm so happy that you were at the game and this is happening. And as soon as I had seen the score and paid attention to them, like I told myself, why you don't pay attention to them? Just look at the newspaper the next day and hope that they won. I should have not looked at the score, because after I looked at the score, everything went downhill. And I'm blaming myself a little bit that I needed to just continue to ignore the Blue Jays like I did all season, because they did really good this year. And when I do finally pay attention, they choke. I'm not turning on another Blue Jays game ever. Roger Sportsnet. Oh my gosh. All right, let's keep going. All right, let's see. All right, I see that there's a bit here already. Yeah, Nameless is saying, you got to go check out my man Logical's vid for sure. Respect. You guys all check out Logical Raptors Fanatic. Give him a sub. Nameless saying, welcome, Adriana. Nice to see you. Yeah, Adriana's usually here. She just doesn't usually talk. She's just usually watching. G saying, Tom Duke, you know you made it when people are name dropping you. Tom Duke is a very important Raptors freak. He is a very important Raptors freak. And this is a name that if Scottie hears it, he will be like, oh, my people are out there. My Twitch family is here. If he hears us saying Tom Duke, Durrani, JPZ, Guerrilla Marketing, these are all the names that he's been seeing in his chat on Twitch all summer. So if I yell the word Raptors freak, he's going to turn his head. Watch, he will. Yeah. All right. Tom Duke's laughing about it and stuff like that. They're laughing all about it. I was cooking a little bit there. I just had to get this off my chest, because I seen Twitter turn into a dumpster fire last night after what happened with the Blue Jays. And I'm like, y'all, keep it separated. We ain't got nothing to do with that energy. We ain't got nothing to do with choking. We ain't got nothing to do with losing. We are a winning team. Have you ever heard Masai Ujiri talk? It's all about winning. It's not about losing. So I ain't going to have nothing to do with this. I ain't associating myself with this. I love the Blue Jays. They're my baseball team. They always will be. But I can't watch them because I know it's so bad what happened. I just wish they had been more successful. Oh, my gosh. It's so bad. All right. Monique saying, well, they did say 5 as the rival. It's Wheel-Trans. Laugh out loud. Okay. Well, hopefully they'll get you there on time, Monique. 5 o'clock's fine. We'll be right around there, around that time. You know, the game's not starting until 6. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. One way or another, we're going to run into you and stuff like that. Nameless is saying the Jays ripped out my scrotum and gave it a twist. Go to the hospital. Do it. And how did they get to your house to do that? Why would they do that after the loss? They should be upset and sad and doing their own thing and going to their off season. Why are they coming to your house and messing with your scrotum? That is weird. I'm going to tell you that right now, Nameless. That's very weird. And get some medical attention if you have not yet. Oh, my gosh. G saying, even at 8-1, I had a bad feeling. The pitching staff may have messed up, but they are also very young and is an example of how experience matters. That one play where that ball dropped in between the three of them and they ran into each other and somebody got hurt, it literally was injury to insult to injury, like in the middle of it. Oh, my gosh. What a disaster. And like, I know they're going to second guess this mid reliever coming in instead of the starter, that he should have just let the starter finish that inning, the 6th inning. And he brought in this guy to do it. And then boom, it all fell apart. Oh my gosh. Adriana is saying thank you to people. Nameless is saying worst Jays playoff loss in franchise history. No lie. They worked so hard. They played such a long ass season to just go to do this. Oh my gosh. And how often do they get to the postseason? Oh, this is why you don't let the Leafs come and sit courtside at Raptor games. This is why you don't let Austin Matthews throw the first pitch at Blue Jays games. That's what I'm saying right now. Keep them away, separated. I don't want to see no Leafs in the Raptors locker room while they're off and going other places. Don't you be coming into our space. We don't need that vibe around our team. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm telling y'all, we wear red, y'all wear blue. We ain't got nothing to do with you. Yeah. That's actually a pretty good spirit song. We wear red, don't wear blue. We ain't got nothing to do with you. Because I don't want to have nothing to do with this. I'm telling you, I want to separate this. Go over here. This energy from the Blue Jays. Nothing to do with Raptors. No. We all still love the Blue Jays, Adriana. Don't get me wrong. My little brother was born the day the Blue Jays played their first baseball game. I went to Exhibition Stadium and watched Lloyd Mosby and George Bell and Dave Steve and Ernie Witt and Tony Fernandez play the Oakland A's with the Bash brothers of Canseco and McGuire. It's just not that I don't love them. It's just that, sometimes you're just like, you know what? I got to just let them be them away from me because this is, why did this have to happen, Blue Jays? Oh my gosh. Nameless saying, I'm just angry at them right now, Adriana. That's all. I know I'm angry, but I'm also kind of like sad. Like they made me depressed. I didn't even follow their journey this year. I didn't watch any Blue Jays all year. And I feel hurt and lost from a team that I didn't even root for this year, hardly. It just makes the heart of a Toronto person sad to see that kind of stuff happen in sports in our city. It feels like the Leafs never getting past the first round. It feels like the Raptors losing game one over and over again. Well, this game one right here proves that we ain't under no C word. No, we're not. Because this was game one of the finals, baby. And it was in our building. And I sang that Canadian national anthem loud with Drake and Doug Tranquata and the rest of us that were in that building that night. And it was beautiful sound. And we won. Yeah, Drake wore Del Curry's jersey. And we sunned Steph Curry. And Charles Barkley was there and everything. And it was a great day and we won. So that's what I want to say right now to a Toronto sports fan. Keep it separated. All right, Mason's back again. Let's go. Mason Culligan. Raptor Freak, Mason Culligan. Let's go. Nako the Nacho saying, all right, good to see you, Nako. Oddly enough, I think the Bulls or Raptors is the best landing spot for Victor. Well, how are we going to get Victor? I don't want Victor on our team. That means we had a tanked year. And some of you fans are saying we need to tank to get Victor. Y'all are stupid. I ain't having nothing to do with that T word. Other teams can make that folly. You can ask the Philadelphia 76ers how that word works out with the process and how painful and how much failure there is with it. And how when you lose on purpose, sometimes it's hard to kick out of that gear and start winning on purpose because you're so used to losing on purpose. It becomes a culture around your team that you're a losing culture. You want to tank and have a losing culture? You go ahead and install that into your apparatus. I ain't having no tanking or losing kind of culture around my team. I'm sorry. That word does not belong with the word Toronto Raptors. And I don't want to go anywhere near Victor. We have no reason to even be. Anybody says we need to tank to get Victor this year, tell them to STFU, because that is the worst plan I've ever heard, considering how good we are. Like I said a couple times in the last week, a lot of teams are going to be making decisions this year in the NBA. Are we going to go all the way down there and try and get Victor? Or are we going to, we got kind of good talent though. And don't go halfway because you're just going to be shitty. You're not going to get Victor and you're not going to win. So it's like you better be committed fully to going all the way down there, because I'm going to tell you right now, there's some teams that are almost professional tank teams going into this season. San Antonio, Houston, there's different teams that could be professional tank teams and be really down there submarining through the standings. And if you have some talent, like Utah, you may fail miserably at tanking because you're just a little bit better than the very shitty teams. So it's like all or nothing as far as with this. It's really like some card games where you play where I'm going to take all the bids or I'm going to take no bids. You're going to say you're going to take no bids? You better get no bids, because if you take one book, you lose. So it's really a lot like all this. I'm not all about us tanking any kind of way. The Bulls, I don't see how they're going to tank either. They're too good also. Victor is for a shitty team, for a very, very shitty team. and neither the Bulls or the Raptors are. I'd love to see him on the Spurs. I'm on the record for that. Tom Duke is official now. Yeah, he is. I mean, he can have a blue check on my channel. I mean, yeah, he's listen, he's not just a Raptor freak. He is an editor and producer of this channel. He has a title here. That's right. He's official. Adriana was at the game and she knows the Jays were disappointing and it was sad and stuff like that. I hate to hear that. And I hate to see it. Tom Duke saying 9 more days to blast off. Ooh, there's a rocket. And well, I'm going to have to talk about a rocket car very soon in the real mascot matchup. All right, let's see. Good morning, Cool Cat, Raptor Free crew in the house. I hope I see you a little bit later on, Cool Cat. Meet you at the statue, the star cross columns and stuff like that. I will be there 420, y'all. Everybody who's coming to the game today, you want to hang out with me at the game, 420 out front next to those statues. You know what I'm talking about. Leslie's here. Good to see Leslie and Hart. Toronto teams all need a sprinkle of Masai magic dust. Laugh out loud. I know, or something. I don't know what it is. I think that what somebody said earlier, this is a young team. It's an inexperienced Blue Jays team. And that some of the lack of experience showed in this series with the Seattle Mariners and stuff like that. It is what it is. It's just, what a choke. Why? That's so many runs. It's like somebody asked him, what happened in the Blue Jays game in like basketball terms? Well, they lost a 30-point lead with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, is what the guy said. It's like, that's pretty much how it felt with the Blue Jays. They'd be up 30 points with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they managed to lose the game by the end of the game. That's pretty much the equivalent to basketball, what happened with them last night. Let's see. Name was saying good morning to Tom and G. Salute the Cool Cat. Respect. Mason saying, it's true, Blue Jays are a good team, but need to still get better in time. Also, bad coaching. Yeah, I don't know if it's bad coaching or not. Now, they're saying that the manager is probably going to be back. They're going to just rehire him. They asked all the players and they said, did you like playing for this guy? And he's like, yeah, we do. So it seems like this interim manager that took over for Charlie Montoya in the middle of the season is actually going to be returning as their manager because he's popular with the players. And they did see some good positive growth and good things from him. So he may be made the full manager very soon and coming back, even though the disappointment of yesterday and stuff like that. G saying good morning, everybody. Isaac Campbell is here. Good to see Raptor Freak Isaac Campbell. Scottie is going to play a lot and bounce back. You guys are so damn lucky to go. Oh, Isaac, thank you, man. Well, listen, man, this is how it is. I love my Raptors. And if they're going to be back, I got to go and say hello, welcome to the new season. And Raptor Freak has got your back. He's right behind you. And I brought a crew this time is what we're going to be saying today. Monique saying Josh Jackson had great things about the team. He really wants it. He had really good things to say about the team. This is good. This is really good. I like hearing that from a guy like him who's traveled around, been on a couple different teams. And, Otto's been the same way. He's like, this team has really got its shit together. This is the best of the best in all kinds of different ways around us and stuff like that. Blake Griffin being on the Boston Celtics so far this season has been saying a lot of really interesting things about the Celtics and the way they do things. Now, Blake's been in this league for a long, long time. He played for the Clippers for a very long time. He was on the Pistons. He was on the Nets, different places like that. And he's played for a lot of different coaches with a lot of different teammates, a lot of different teams. So he said that this Boston team is locked in and crazy good. And like he's never seen this kind of intensity from a team just naturally, that they usually have to get up and go. But no, not these guys. And that really bodes well for the Celtics in some ways. Not having Udoka this season, maybe the players can go on autopilot and just do things anyway, even if Mazzola is not the best, biggest, baddest coach and stuff like that. I don't like hearing what Blake's saying, but I can see where it's true. That Tatum and Brown just have a certain intensity to them that they're just always on with. And it may have something to do with their rivalry as far as like their teammates, but they're also very equal and they're also kind of in competition. So it's like they can't have a moment to rest or anything because they want to be better than the other one, stuff like that. So I don't know. Yeah, I love hearing that from Josh Jackson. He's got to be more consistent and show something. You can't have a dead game like you did against the Rockets on Friday. Cool Cat saying, I said Raptors would never blow up like that. They need some vet experience to settle the youngins. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, there's been so many kinds of different sports collapses in different ways. So you can talk to Doc Rivers about this kind of stuff. He knows, I just hate seeing this kind of stuff happen to our city with one of our franchises. And that's the message for today with the Blue Jays. Nako saying, not saying that right now. I'm not saying we should tank. Okay, yeah, I don't think you're saying that. You just like the fit. You think that Victor would look cool on our team and like be an interesting addition in some ways. Yeah, I think that would be a little bit of the rich getting richer. It's like we don't necessarily need Victor, like other teams very much need Victor and stuff like that. So, all right, I'm not saying that you said that, and if it seemed like I was coming on after you on that whole thing, I know you were just kind of reporting what you've heard or said stuff like that. But yeah, I just like I'm very staunch anti-tank person. I do not believe tanking is ever a good strategy for an NBA franchise. I think that people that think tanking is a valid strategy for a team to get better, you're crazy because it is one of the worst things you can do to your team. And I'll always be anti-tanking. You want to win and win as much as you can. And fuck tanking. Tanking is for losers, is what I say. Let's see. Cool Cat saying we should have the solution for Victor Coloco. Yeah, like out of all the people in the league right now, Coloco may be a handful that can actually look at him eye to eye and do a little bit with him, stuff like that. Fun guy saying Masai should be the vice chairman of all Toronto sports. Forget this. I mean, listen, I want him to run for prime minister. I think this man should be in charge of Canada. That's what I think. I mean, we can fix everything. Forget about just fixing the Leafs and the Blue Jays. Let's fix the whole damn country. Let's put Masai at Ottawa is the prime minister of the whole country. That would be badass. I'd love that. Yeah. Leslie's saying, we don't lose on purpose. No way. That's right. We have more pride than that. We don't want to tank ever, 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 ever. Mason is saying, we don't need to tank. Look at the teams who tank for players. Even with the player the teams tank for still end up sucking still. I know. Philadelphia is just getting over the trauma of tanking for like 10 years. That they're finally just starting to get out of that loser mentality of just having bad habits because they lost on purpose. They wanted to stack young players and stuff. Look how long it took for them to get out of that. That's wasted time. You should be always going for it and always striving to get better and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm big. This is a big thing that I'll argue with anybody. Like anybody who thinks tanking is any kind of like smart strategy, you are crazy. You are crazy. G saying, good thing with teams tanking, they may have fire sales, and I personally dread trades, but there may be solutions for some of our issues that teams will fire sale off. Yeah. In fact, we can look at this Houston situation, the team we just saw on Friday. Eric Gordon is a veteran that's getting paid a certain amount, but he may be able to be got for really cheap in certain ways just because he doesn't really fit with their team anymore, but he may be a solid, good shooter for a good playoff team to add later this year, like a player like him. So there's going to be situations like this for sure this year. And I think that G's right. There are going to be fire sales. And there could be some opportunity for Masai to do some Masai kind of stuff, him and Bobby. So Nameless is saying, you ain't catching those scuba divers, man. SA, Detroit, and Houston. Yeah, I don't know if Detroit's in that bracket, but the really, really bad teams like Charlotte, San Antonio, Houston, Oklahoma City, these are really bad teams. Like even Sacramento, Orlando, and Detroit, they're a little bit better than those really, really bad deep sea diving scuba divers. That they're way down there. They're below the yellow submarine. They're like way, way down there. They're down there with them freaky fish with those eyes and the big teeth and the light bulb. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Fun Guy saying, did you see how much trash the Houston Rockets fans were talking, especially on Twitter, about Scottie? Who cares? I'll ignore them. They're irrelevant, like in a lot of ways. Like I said the other day, let them have their little fun, and they can talk a little shit. It's the preseason, doesn't count. Go ahead. When we play you in the regular season, I hope we get some get back, and you guys don't get any kind of W against us. So go ahead, feel good, Rockets fans and stuff like that. So go ahead, slander Scottie. See how that feels in a couple months when he gets it together and stuff like that. Yeah, Logical saying Twitter is a dumpster fire of negativity. Not gonna lie, this is true, and I hate like Raptor fans that are jumping in on this whole Blue Jays thing that happened yesterday and connecting it to us and trying to say, oh, all Toronto sports are C-worded. Fuck that shit. I ain't hearing this. No, I'm not. I ain't hearing this. And this shirt is what I'm trying to tell y'all. That championship in 2019 wasn't a fluke. That wasn't sometimes you think. Some fans are kind of like, how the fuck did the Raptors win in 2019 with the way Toronto sports are? You know what? That's because we did it the right way, and we're going to do it the right way again, as soon as this year. So don't get it twisted, Toronto sports fan in general. That's not primarily a Raptors fan. We are not a loser sports city. You guys can go sit in your loser whatever you want in your own little sports fan nation and your team and stuff. But we're not doing that here in Raptors Nation. I'm sorry, this is not going to happen here. We're not about that. This is not our culture, and we do not do things a way to have this happen to us. Is what I'm going to say right now. Mason's saying, I mean, they should have not pulled the starter though. The game to play in the playoffs, to me, that was a bad move. I completely agree with this. Like when I saw the box score and I saw the situation and when they made that decision, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? This man has worked so hard this whole game and done a very good job. Sure, he's in a bit of a jam, but why can't you let him fix his own mess? Why do you give it to some guy who's fresh, who's coming in? And you know what? Listen, I don't know how the Jays have done this year. I'm no expert on their team or anything, but has mid relief been one of their strengths this year? Well, then why aren't you letting a starter ride? This is their whole season. They don't win today, they're done. So let that dude play as long as he needs to do as well as he can. I think that they yanked him a little too quick. That this man had a lot of like on the line himself as a starting pitcher. That you needed to let him to continue to try and finish it up. They yanked him too quick. They yanked him too quick, and they needed to let him finish that and try and get it done. Now that outfield play, that's just sad. That's just sad. And I don't know if that's just poor coaching as far as they were placed and stuff like that, or communication, or what the fuck it was, but that just looked bad. The ball was there. There were three all around. Something couldn't happen. I don't know what the fuck happened with the Jays yesterday. Oh my gosh. Nameless is saying, fun guy, then they finished above 25th sometime the next decade before they talk shit. Yeah, for real. Houston fans, come on. Come on. Can you really talk that much shit? I mean, really, they really can't. And that's part of the reason why they're chirping so much, because they haven't had many opportunities. Tom Duke saying Danny Ainge did know about the affair. Definitely led him leaving the Celtics after 18 years in the front office. Him being a family-oriented, a religious person. I'm sorry for bringing this up. I don't know. Nonsense again. I don't know, Tom Duke. You can bring up little things that you thought about. I don't think that's why Danny Ainge left. I think Danny Ainge left partly because he had a personality clash with the team, and it could be that it stemmed from extramarital affairs that he detected in the team that he did not agree with. Now we have to remember Danny left while Brad Stevens was in charge of being the coach, and Ma was just an assistant coach at that time, and that Brad Stevens came and took his job, and then he brought Doka up to the head coaching level. So I don't know how much Danny Ainge knew. I think that Danny Ainge was part of the toxic in Boston. That's part of the reason why he had to leave. I mean, he was telling the players to go punch Kyrie in the face for disrespecting Lucky on their home court. That Kyrie came in and did something to the Lucky the Leprechaun on the court, and Danny Ainge was like, in my day, you guys, Larry and I would have gone and punched him in the face. And he's like, why didn't you guys go do it? So he's telling his players to go fight Kyrie. And that was part of the whole story about when he left, too. It's like he was getting a little too kind of crazy. Jimmy Pope's here. Imagine getting pressed about the preseason. I hate looking online. Oh, my gosh. I know, Jimmy. These people are so crazy. Like, I understand. I'm obsessed with the Raptors. I really pay really close attention to them in all kinds of ways. But why would you, if you're going to spend so much energy and talk about it all the time, why would you be so negative? Why would you want to live and marinate and all that stuff like that? It is the preseason. Y'all stop overreacting. Nako's saying Oklahoma City is at the point where they should try to win. They already got the young core. I agree with this. They're kind of like Orlando and Detroit. You may be right. Like there may be different tiers. Like tiers that have young talent that are actually pretty good. They're not the bottom. And then there's like San Antonio, who's like they're really bad. Like this is very purposeful what they're doing with the Spurs. They are really trying to win. Victor by losing a lot this year. Like that's what Pop said. Don't bet on us in Vegas. We're not trying to win this year. He said it before the season even starts. And he may do this weird thing where what if Pop does a weird season where he tries to lose every single game this season? Like we're talking about all or nothing. What if he really does like try and sabotage his team with all his knowledge of how to win? He does like the opposite, and he tries to do like this perfect like 0-82 season. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be crazy. That would be like some sort of weird like coaching accomplishment because people would be like, well, you're going to just like mess up and win a game at some point. Well, what if he's able to do this? This would be so weird. That would be so weird. It's like Bizarro Pop or something like that. It'd be very weird. Monique saying Gary Trent Jr. just teamed up with a great organization company. Is that the stuff I saw in Ohio yesterday? Like there was a race and it was something he was doing in Ohio. Mason saying, what player does Scottie remind you of? And do you think Scottie can be as good or better than Leonard? That Kawhi is on that list. I've told Scottie this. Scottie asked us this summer on Twitch at one point. He said, who do I remind you guys of? He actually asked this very specific question. He wanted to know. And I told him 3 names. I said Magic because of the passing and stuff like that. Being a big point guard. Kawhi because of his big hands, his very giant hands, and his ability to do really overpowering moves in the low post that I think he's going to develop more and more, and we'll see him look more and more dominant like Kawhi because of his body structure, his skills athletically with the size, and also his huge hands. He has that ability and he could, but it's like we can't gauge him to get to the levels of Magic or Kawhi or the third person I think he's like, which is Tim Duncan. I think he's very much like Tim Duncan in some ways on the defensive end, as far as the way he likes to defensive rebound and anchor a defense as being very much a big help defender that kind of scoots around and helps and stuff. So that's lofty names that to get to that level, that's, maybe not attainable in some ways. We need to keep saying Scottie's going to be the best Scottie he can be. And it could be an amazing, badass, crazy good player, just his own name and stuff like that. He took those compliments and the different names we told him and stuff like that. And he said, okay, thanks guys. And that's basically what he said. But he did also say afterwards, he said, listen, I'm going to be the best version of me that I can be. And that's really the way we should think and stuff like that too. Stuff like that. All right. Tom's erasing messages. Logical saying, Jimmy Pope, my newest video will probably change your view on this slump. Okay, cool. Check out Logical. Leslie saying no ESPN, TNT, or Twitter when it comes to the Raptors. Yeah. Now I'm starting to say TSN too. Like I'll watch the game. I don't mind when it's the block and it's like Matt Devlin and Jack Armstrong and Kate Burness and Kayla Gray and all them. But any other block of TSN around it, if it's hockey programming or even if it's just like general sports programming and they talk about the NBA, I'm turning it off too. Sportsnet, same thing. I just watch the broadcast. I'm not watching anything around it and like any of the like sports center or anything like that. Sportsnet, Sports Center, whatever. Let's see. Cowboy saying, good morning, Raptor Freaks. Canadian Cowboy, the brothers Tada. If you guys have any kind of help y'all need around your house with painting, remodeling, maybe you need your windows clean. Get them nice and clean so I can see clearly now. The brothers Tada have come. Yeah. Call the brothers Tada. They're in the phone book in the 416. They will help you out with jobs around your house. They're very, very good dudes. Yeah. Mason saying, oh, yeah, that's right. Magic. That's a good comparison. Yeah, the Magic, the Pistons, Sacramento, Oklahoma City. These teams are all kind of in the same kind. Even Houston looks like, because of the way they played us on Friday, they look like they're ready to be in this tier of really good young nucleus that's coming up. But they're still kind of inexperienced and probably going to make a lot of rookie mistakes still and not totally have their stuff together. But they may be better talent-wise than a team like San Antonio and stuff like that. So Nako is saying, I want to say Brad Stevens is doing a good job, but I'm not even sure Jalen has a great relationship with them. I don't think they like Brad Stevens. I think that was part of the reason why he went up. And why wouldn't he like be the interim head coach this year? Like he coached the team before MA the year before, and he was a good coach. It doesn't make sense. And maybe he's like sees it as a demotion, like, oh, I have to go back and coach. No, I'm in front office now. I'm above it now, or something like that. I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid that, like, if I was a Celtics fan, I would be like, why the fuck isn't Brad Stevens coaching our team this year? Like, seriously, what the fuck? Why are you coaching? Like, what the fuck? Anyway, all right. G saying apparently Victor will add $500 million to a franchise, so even just what that for teams will tank. $500 million? You mean like they'll make that much money? I don't know. That's crazy. Or they'll pay him that much? I don't know. Let's see. Nameless saying you can't openly talk 0-82 because the fans and stockholders will riot, plus will cost too much and loss of revenue for advertising and attendance. Oh, they were not going to be overt about it. They won't say it out loud. And you know what? I think astute and smart San Antonio fans that have been watching them the last couple of years are sick of where they've been. And maybe they are ready to lose a lot this year in the hopes of landing Mr. Big Victor and getting him coming into town next year. I'll bet you Spurs fans are all about tanking this year. I don't think they don't care. In fact, when they see their team lost, they're probably rooting and saying, yeah, woo. I'll bet you they are. The real ones are, they know that this is going on like this. When they saw Murray go to Atlanta and that Jakob is really the only like established vet on this team now. It's all like Vassell and Keldon Johnson and all their youngsters. They're going to lose a lot, and it's already seeing it in preseason. They look bad. So I think if Spurs fan is looking at the standings, as long as they see the San Antonio's at the bottom, they're going to be smiling. That's all they care about this year because it's all been signaled and decided already. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to be wishy-washy. Well, maybe we should try and win a little bit here in Utah because these guys are actually gelling. But weren't we supposed to try and win Victor by losing? Don't be wishy-washy. Don't be halfway. You need to commit to being one way or the other in this Victor sweepstakes is what I'm going to say right now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see. Nako saying, I would probably say Giannis is the fairest comparison for Scottie. Comparison not necessarily meaning ceiling. Yeah, a lot of people compare him to Giannis in different ways. I think Precious is more like Giannis in some ways. Scottie, in some ways, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Cowboys saying, I know the Raptors are going to show up today. There's the 6 at the 6 and win by 6. Whoa. Hopefully, we just get win by 6 in the 6. Yeah. All right, I like that. At 6 o'clock. Mason saying, it's true. We can't expect Scottie to be like anyone but Scottie Barnes. And what I like about Scottie is that you can see he's a nice person and really see what Toronto Raptors have in the future. Yeah, he is a really nice guy. Like, honestly, he has a very kind heart and he's very considerate in different ways. This is one thing I learned about him from Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, Twitch. Watching him on the video games, he has different aspects of his personality, but there is a very, very big heart in that very big young guy who's played in the NBA for us. There's a huge heart in him. And with the way he loves his dog, you can tell. And the way he talks about, like, looking out for each other and stuff like that. He is a good dude. He really is a good dude. I can tell you that from seeing him in person at his ease and just in the times when he's just chilling out and with his friends and he's just being himself. He is a good dude. I can tell you right now. Logical saying Boston is confusing logically. Not going to lie. I know they are a little weird. Like, why wouldn't they put Brad Stevens back there? Lolita saying if the last game was Raptors' worst game, watch out for the Raptors. It will come back stronger and better than ever. We'll be out for revenge. Go Raptors. I think Houston was better than we expected them to be. I think that we kind of were lackadaisical and underestimated them. The one thing about them that was really interesting, like I said, was their physicality. They had not had any kind of weight in like shoving people around down below like they did against us on Friday. This is a new look. And I really do think we took them lightly, underestimated them. And this is a big reason why we didn't play as well against them on Friday. I hope that you're right, that that's our worst preseason game and that we do really well today, win the game today, and then Montreal on Friday. Ooh, we got a few days to get ready for that second matchup against the Boston Celtics in Montreal. I'm so happy we're coming to Montreal, and the Montreal Raptorfreaks are going to get to go to the game. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, yep, not listening to sports media outside of broadcasting a game. I will never forgive how Pascal was attacked during his COVID crisis. It was so salacious and mean-spirited. Mental gymnastics, BS. I know, like we said and talked about a lot yesterday, some people are just fucking miserable and they'll figure out any kind of way to get their angst out. And one of the ways is on Twitter by being really critical of millionaires that don't really give a shit about them. So I know it sucks. It sucks. And I'm with you. I mean, I have blinders on certain places. And it really is so that I can just watch them and try and be as objective about them without hearing all the noise that may tell me not to be. Believing in them, stuff like that. Fanatics saying Nick Nurse went in on the bench on Bob McCowan interview about the Boston game too. Oh, he was all about like saying how good they were and stuff like that. All right, let's do the ref report, guys. Ref report tonight is it's not very interesting, but it is what it is. We've got our crew chief tonight is going to be Curtis Blair. Curtis Blair is a former player in the NBA. He's in his 15th or 16th season as a referee. His favorite TV show is Dexter. His favorite movie is Grease. You're the one I want. Woo, woo, woo. He likes Casey and JoJo, and his favorite meal is lamb curry. Curtis is a pretty good referee for us. We have a 61% winning percentage when Curtis Blair is there. He's a fair guy. He's a tough dude. He's one of these bigger refs because he used to play and stuff. And he's kind of no nonsense. He doesn't take a lot of crap, but he's also pretty fair, easygoing in some ways, and just kind of jovial in some ways. So I like Curtis Blair. He's a good ref. And our second ref is Aaron Smith. You guys will recognize him. He's the bald white ref from Pennsylvania. He likes the movie Shawshank Redemption. His favorite artist is John Legend. And his favorite meal is any breakfast meal. So let's bring him a big fat stack of pancakes today and pour on that 100% maple syrup on the Chicago Bulls and get that lead nice and big and and then have Scottie hit like that dot at the end of the game to put it away, put that pat of butter on top, win the game, and serve it up to Aaron Smith and say, here you go, ref, here's some pancakes. We know you like to eat breakfast any time of the day. There you go. So yeah, Aaron Smith is actually a pretty good ref for us also. We win 61% of the time also with him. So they have the same percentage. 61% of the time we win with the first two refs. Now the third ref is a trainee once again. It's a new ref, a ref that has never refed ever before. I have no information on him. His name is Brent Haskell. So that is our ref report for today. Pretty run-of-the-mill guys. Curtis Blair, former player. He's cool, dude. Aaron Smith's all right. We do okay with him. So I think the refs will be all right for us tonight, especially since we'll be at home and stuff like that. So there's your ref report. Yeah. Logical saying he's smart on movies, not going to lie. Shawshank Redemption, that's a good movie. Yeah, that's a very good movie. Very, very good movie. Let's see. Lolita saying, go Montreal. Cheer loud for our boys. Canada's team. That's right. Canada's team, baby. Monique saying, keep watching the Fred interview. I'm hooked. Christian Siakam did an interview for 905, but not in English. Ooh, okay. So he did a French interview. Stuff like that. All right. Well, I probably won't watch that just because my French isn't that good and stuff like that. But good to know. Like, Monique, you really are a 905 expert compared to me. Like, you really pay closer attention to 905 than me. And I appreciate that. In fact, if you could be a little bit more of a 905 expert this year and helping on the stream, that'll help me with some of my blind spots. Because I try to watch every single one of their games, but I haven't been able to watch every single one. And you are such a great expert on our G League team. So Monique, in some ways, I might make you like our G League expert because you are on top of everything with them. I love that. You are so on top of it. Let's see. Cowboy saying, let's go Raptors. Only good vibes over here. That's right. Only good vibes. We only got the good stuff going here. Mason saying, Koloko reminds me of Antonio Davis's old Raptors player, 33. You know, he's not as thick as Davis. Davis is an interesting comparison. He's way taller than him also. That's the thing. Koloko's Antonio Davis was only like 6'9". He wasn't like he was more like Scottie Barnes in his build. Koloko's a lot taller than Davis. Davis was a weird, like kind of tough, brutish kind of guy who was very physical. He was a rebounder and a pretty good scorer around the basket. But they're different in some ways. Like Koloko's very long. Koloko's more like Porzingis than Antonio Davis, to me at least. Let's see. Nameless saying Lex's Italian is better than his French. That's probably true. That's probably very true. That's very fair. All right, guys, let's do the real mascot matchup. This is Tom's favorite part of the show, the real mascot matchup. Last time we saw the real mascot matchup, the Raptors mascot was himself, the fun-loving Raptor that we're going to see at the game later today. And he has a rocket car that is just pulled up. And little Jeff Doughton's telling him, you get to ride the rocket car. Raptor, go on the rocket car. And he hits his head getting in the car. And he gets in the car and he's starting it up. And he's like, oh, this isn't that good. This car's not that good because it kind of sounds a little clunky. He's like, what is this? He's like, well, no, you got to rev it this way, is what Jeff says. He reaches it and pulls it just like a lawnmower cord. And then the car is like, it starts like running, and it's like really running hard and fast. And like, he's like, okay. He's like, and the kid's like, you got to put it in the clutch. The clutch. And he's like, okay. And he puts in the clutch, and it's gone. It like shoots down the street, and it's flying. Like, this is a real rocket car. It's not like the 70s rocket car that like Evel Knievel tried to jump over the Grand Canyon. This is like a futuristic steampunk rocket car that is really like got NASA kind of rocket boosters pushing it. And he's just like flying down the street. He's like, whoa, this is crazy. And he thinks he's controlling the car, but he really isn't. This car is really out of control, but he thinks he's got it. He's like, oh, I'm doing good. And he's like, but then a little rock hits the bottom of one of the wheels, and it goes, and then he starts going, whoa, whoa, whoa. And the car's like flipping a little bit, and then it flips over itself. And it looks like one of these horrendous like car wreck videos where you see a car like flip like 50 times, like over itself, like at a racetrack or something like that. And it's just, and the Raptors getting beat up inside the rocket car, and beat up bad. And he crashed it. He crashed that rocket car, and it comes to a standstill, and he's thrown out of the car, and he's laying on the ground. He's all bloody and messed up. He may be almost dead, actually. And the car's like sitting there, and it looks like it's about to blow up. And in fact, it does. It just, and he goes flying over even further. Well, he wakes up, and he's like, oh my gosh, what happened? But he's like, he feels some weird breath over his head, like something sniffing his head, like something found him laying there. And he looks up, and for some reason this rocket car actually put him on another planet. Like, he's on an alien planet that's different than the Wild West place. It's actually the same planet, but it's just in a whole other part that looks totally different. And it looks weird. It's like a jungle kind of planet, and there's a beast like hovering over him, kind of sniffing at him, poking at him a little bit to see if he's alive. Well, he opens his eyes, and he sees these horns off the head of the beast, and it's like looking right at his face when he opens his eyes. And he's like, oh crap, it was a bull, a big space bull, big ugly space bull, and it's right in his face. And he's like, oh crap, what do I do? It's like, I've been told at times not to move when in a face off with a dangerous animal, that you have to stand your ground and keep your height and stuff like that. So the Raptor's really scared. He kind of gets up, and he's like, okay, I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. And the bull is like very large. Like, it's very large. It's as large as his rocket car in some ways. It's like a weird alien bull. And the Raptor's his regular self. He's like, hey, no problems, guy. No problems. I didn't see you. I'm leaving. Fine. But the bull is not letting him leave. It's kind of like staring him down and like kind of coming towards him still. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to have to find out next time on the Real Mascot Matchup. Yeah, the adventures of the real Raptor mascot and his craziness. So there you go. There's your Real Mascot Matchup today. It was quite a ride indeed. Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying about this. Not Tingus. Tingus, what? I don't know what that means. Did you guys see Bant and Boucher's interview? No, I didn't. Is there a new interview with them? Cowboy, I've been busy. My parents are in town, and I spent the day with my parents yesterday, and I got to go see my grandmother, who's 100 years old, yesterday. So nice to see her. She's older, and she doesn't remember anybody, but she remembers me. Oh my gosh. I walk up, and she's like, oh, Alexi. And I'm like, yes. I love that in some ways and stuff like that. It makes me feel really good in my heart. But I love you so much, Vanima, and I was so happy to see you yesterday. It's so good to see you. Let's see. You're welcome, Monique. I have so many compliments for you, so much high esteem for you and different things. Let's see. Lolita missed the Fred VanVleet interview. It's really good. You got to watch it. It's on Ball Don't Stop. It's an hour-long interview from Wednesday, Lolita, so watch it. It is so good. That Fred VanVleet video interview is one of the best I've seen ever with Fred as far as interview-wise. It's about him wanting to be Canadian. That's in there. He talks about Kyrie Irving and what he means to him. He talks about Kobe Bryant and how much he really loves Kobe and how much he means to him and stuff like that. Is really, really good. Leslie's saying it will be nice to see Demar. Yeah, it's always nice to see Demar. Demar is, he talks about Toronto like an ex-girlfriend. He sees Toronto and he has some heartbreak, a little bit of sadness. because this is, a place that he had his heart, and like it got broken up, and it's sad. It's hard for him to come here. He's like, he comes here and he's like, it's like being around an old girlfriend and saying, wow, you're still fine. You're still fine, girl. I still love you somewhere in my heart, but like, yeah, it's all over and it can't be again and stuff like that. It's that kind of feeling with him and our city and our team and stuff. He'll always love this city. He'll always have the key to our heart in this city. He is a real one. He always will be one of the GOATs. And, his friendship with Drake and different things like that, his friendship with existing Raptors since he left has really kept us close and stuff like that. He loves us still, the fans. He knows that we didn't have nothing to do with him getting traded like that, and that he knows that he still has our undying love and support, even though he's not on our team anymore. If there's anybody else in the league that I want to win a championship other than the Raptors, it's DeMar DeRozan. And I want him to get one before he retires. I really, really do. I want to see it so bad. I want to see DeMar get that lower Larry O'Brien. Let's see. Freddie's a Canadian. Let's go. It's just he's deemed a Canadian by Canadian Cowboy. He has marshaled him. You are now a Canadian, Fred. And that's just how it is. Fred VanVleet Jr. was up till 12:30 in the night last night, according to Fred's fiance. It's like, oh, she had that little upside down smiley face. It's like, Fred Jr. still up right now. And it was like almost 1 a.m. last night. There is some full moon energy going on right now. It's a little weird. Like that game last night with the Jays in downtown Toronto on a Saturday night, there was a lot of crazy, weird energy around the city. And it wasn't good in some ways. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, full moon's today, right before the game at 5 o'clock. The moon is fullest. Yes. Let's see. Logical saying the channel name is Ball Don't Stop. Yeah, Ball Don't Stop. That's the name of the channel. It's a really good interview. Highly recommended. Tom Duke has got his Rebus language on effect. He just did the animation for my real mascot matchup right there. If you didn't catch it, you can look at Tom's Rebus and it'll tell you what happened. Lolita's saying, thanks, Mo. Fantastic. Yeah, it's really good, Lolita. You got to watch that interview. Cowboy saying, how's going to the game and what section so I can look out for you guys? Let's go Raptors. Okay, Bradley, if you're going to the game too, meet me at 420 outside the arena at the cross columns with the star columns. You know the columns I'm talking about, the ones that have been there since the building got built. Those star cross columns right out in the front of the building. I will be there at 420. So get there early because we're going to hang out before the game and come in early and do a couple different things. Have a meet and greet. Monique's going to be there. Adriana will be there. Hope and Sue, Cool Cat. There's Evelyn supposed to be coming too. So we have a good group. A lot of people who were at the meet and greet in August and some new people also. So we're going to come in there and I want you to come link with us. So there you go, Cowboy. If you're going to be down there at 420, you know where I'm talking about. All right. Let's see. Logic saying no problem. That's so nice. Raptor Freak with the grandma. Yeah, she's amazing. She's a war refugee from World War II. She had to escape Estonia because of the Nazis and the Russians. And she's 100 years old. She turned 100 in June. And she has seen so much in her life. And she's just amazing. Like she was telling us some crazy stories yesterday that my dad had never even heard before and stuff like that. So I love her so much. She's amazing. She's so amazing. Let's see. Alistair saying, yeah, I know, fun guy, 100 years. 100 years. She's older than the queen. Yeah. Alistair saying, Koloko needs to start full-time over Fred. His 4-block performance is what we need. When gets in the post, you have to double him. He is a really good look, but I don't know if it's Fred you take out. I think part of the reason why we lost on Friday was because we didn't have Fred. That if we had Fred, we might not have lost the game on Friday night. So I can really start to make evidence for that because he's important in certain ways and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just going to ride with it and see what Nick does and just support whatever decisions he makes as long as they work out. If they don't work and something's wrong, then I'll be like, But those 4 blocks early are very attractive, Alistair. That's for sure. And it is something really interesting and that we need to explore more and see how we can utilize most effectively. In what part of the rotation, the starters or the bench or where he comes in. We got to figure this out because he is very, very intriguing with his blocks. Let's see. Mason saying, I'm hoping we can learn to get out to a good start in the first quarter of the games. I find we have a hard time getting started in games a lot, but still do well. Yeah, it's weird how poorly we start games. It's like almost we have to have a kick in the ass and say, oh, you're down by a dozen. Y'all need to overcome this. Why do we even have to do that? Why can't we just come out and be overpowering right from the start, catch the lead, and be the team that's up by a dozen ourselves? I am so sick of the slow starts by the Raptors. This was Achilles' heel last year, and we were playing from behind so often. I don't want to see this anymore. In fact, I want us to come down there with the energy today as fans to buoy them, to go and get some stuff done right away. The starters have not looked good this preseason. Well, let's do something today, Raptors. In fact, my keys to the win are this. This is the thing. The Bulls are playing exactly the opposite of how we've played so far in the preseason. We have been ineffective. We have been inefficient. We have been winning 2 out of 3 games, even though we have not looked good at all. Meanwhile, the Bulls have looked really good. Their offense is clicking. They're shooting a high percentage. They're making all their free throws. They're making their 3-pointers. They are doing everything that we wish we were doing right now. So we need to make sure that we battle them in ways that we can overcome them, whether it's with our defensive energy, getting deflections, getting turnovers, all that kind of stuff. But we definitely need to start hitting our shots. The 3-pointers today have to go in, gentlemen. This has been crazy how bad the 3-point shooting was in the last 2 games. This is insane. This is really bad. This is like worse than some of the worst stretches last year when we couldn't hit anything. So having only like 5 3-pointers in the last 2 games or something like that in the first half is really fucking bad. And we need to change that. So today, let's do it against the Bulls, a very capable team. Like I said, that's playing at a high level already in the preseason. So we can't take them as a slouch in any kind of way. No, we can't. No, we can't. So yeah, that's part of my keys of victory. Get on them, get going. Be the team that's making doing more on the court. The referees will reward you. Hopefully, you'll get more free throws. Make those 3-pointers. Get to the rebounds first, and just play really smart on the 3-point line today, because these guys are hitting threes, and we need to stop them from making these extra shots. Especially if we're not hitting them. I want us to hit them today. So there's a couple of the keys to the win today. We got to outshoot them and outplay them, and play way better than we have so far this preseason. It's going to be a good challenge. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, hello. Fred Van Vleet Jr. counting in Spanish. Yep, not wanting to sleep last night. Cool Cat saying, Raptor Freak, make sure you record Grandma's history listens. Yeah, my aunt has been working with her in the last few years, documenting a lot of her stories. And I even did a little bit of audio recording of her and I talking when I was living with her like 5 or 6 years ago. I actually was staying with her for a little bit. And it was really nice staying with her at that time and stuff like that, because I did get to talk to her a lot and really glean some amazing stories and wisdom from her and stuff like that. We've tried to document her stuff as much as possible. In fact, she was telling us a story yesterday about when they arrived in Sweden as refugees from Estonia. They crossed the North Sea in a fishing boat because the Russians had been awarded Estonia after the war in the Ribbentrop Pact, which is like a thing where the Allies took all the sections of Europe and said, okay, US, you're in charge of helping France like rebuild. England, you're in charge of helping this part of Europe rebuild. And like Russia, you're in charge of helping the eastern side rebuild. Well, they just annexed Estonia like they've been trying to do to Ukraine right now, and just made it a part of their country. And the people there didn't want that. They were like, no, we're our own country. And so people left. And my grandfather had fought against the Russians and shot Russian soldiers. He'd also shot Nazis. So he'd fought both sides. He's basically like an Iraqi person that didn't want the U.S. there and didn't want the regime that was there also under Hussein. So it's like people that are caught in the middle, they're just ordinary people. They just want to fight to protect their homeland. Well, he shot everybody. And he was on a list to go to the Gulag after the war. And that the Russians were going to send him to Siberia. And so our family put our money together and got us the hell out of there. And they ended up coming to Sweden as the first place. And my father was born in Sweden. But my grandmother was telling us the story about when they first got to Sweden and how they made all the women take all their clothes off. And there were all these naked women because they had to check them for like lice and skin diseases and stuff like that. It's basically normal stuff like they did at the Statue of Liberty for immigrants that came to the U.S. You have to check them and make sure they're not got parasites or any other kind of maladies that are bad for your country. and stuff like that. So she was retelling the story of all these naked Estonian women in Sweden just first coming, and then the Swedish soldier ran over with a blanket and was like covering them all up. Oh no, covering them up. This was her story yesterday. It's very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff of a different time and different things, and it can really make you appreciate the settings and things that are going on in your life, that you're not trying to be a war refugee trying to escape your own country because it's being taken over by a dictatorial communist system. So yeah, it's a crazy history, and she does have some amazing stories, that's for sure. Let's see, 100 years is the greatest gift the universe could give you. It's oh man, she looked really good too. Like we saw her on her birthday this summer in June, and she looks even better now, 4 months after being 100. So she's just in good spirits, and I could tell she's really happy and really healthy and stuff like that. So who knows? Keep going, Vanaima. We'll have a birthday next year with you too, and keep doing that. Yeah, I'm all about it. Lolia's saying Tom Duke is funny. Yeah, he's a funny guy. I've talked to him on the phone now, and he's a good dude. He's really funny. We're talking about Tom Duke. If you watched the Dukes of Hazzard yesterday, and it's like you gotta have watched the Dukes of Hazzard because your last name's Duke. You're like the Canadian kinfolk to the Duke boys and stuff like that. All right, let's keep going. Cool Cat's saying we will have different starters based on matchup. It might be Gary Trent Jr. that would be replaced if Koloko starts. This is a good point. I think Cool Cat's exactly right. That maybe we tailor fit our starting lineup and we actually do sub in like eight different guys for the starting lineup depending on the matchup. The Koloko may be subbed in for Gary or subbed in for OG or subbed in for Scottie or something like that. I don't see Fred and Pascal getting subbed in or out of the starting lineup. Those guys are pretty steady and important to our team to start. But those other three guys could possibly be switched out in different ways, whether it's Precious, whether it's Koloko. It could even be Chris Boucher sometimes, or even Kem Birch, stuff like that. So let's see. Monique is saying, yes, that Gary Trent Jr. team up is in Ohio. And yes, I can be on the 905 report. Awesome. All right, we've got officially our 905 reporter, Monique Lawrence. Superfan Monique is going to be helping me catch all the blind spots I have on the 905 stuff. She is on top of it. And she actually has hotlines to talk to some of the people involved, like Nathaniel Mitchell, Jamal McGlure, and different people around the Raptors. Monique has relationships with different people, and she can get inside scoops that not everybody can get. Stuff like that. Cool Cat saying, I really love Boucher and Precious coming off the bench together. Our guys will come alive soon enough. The wall will crumble in time. Summer was a long, hard workout season. I like that combo too, and they like it themselves. They really like that pairing together, coming out together and bringing that energy together. Precious and Chris are tight, you can tell, and they like having that pairing too. You can tell, and I think Nick likes it too because he's done it. I think he's done it every preseason game that those two guys have entered the game together as a pair and stuff like that. Alistair saying, does anyone remember how the 2019 team started out? Yeah, kind of. They won a lot of games that season right away. We won like our first 10 games or something like that season. Yeah, we did really well that season right away. That's how I remember it. Because I was doing if you really want to see what was happening that season with me, if you go on my YouTube channel and you go all the way to the end of the creative playlist, there's something called the Kensington Variety VIP Club show. This is a show I used to do on Instagram a couple years ago in a variety store in Kensington Market. I was working as a clerk in a variety store in the middle Kensington, and I did like little Instagram shows. And that was the year of the championship. I did that show, and I documented throughout the season different places, like when Jonas got traded for Marc Gasol. Like things like were happening with Kawhi and things like that. And it's all on there. You can see the playoff episodes and me talking about our playoff run in the moment at that time. It's all documented in a time capsule of that show. And I love that I have that. In fact, it's all before the pandemic. I did that show right up until the pandemic started. And it's really kind of a weird history of life before the pandemic and then the pandemic hitting. Because like the last couple seasons of that show, I did in isolation at my house and kind of talking about being in the pandemic all of a sudden and not being at the store anymore with my customers. So that's a really fun show. I mean, it's the whole archive of like the first 6 seasons are on YouTube here, and then there's another 6 seasons that are on Instagram still that I have not transferred here. So there's a really weird content, and you'll see me as like me at work with customers that come to the convenience store in Kensington Market. And if y'all know Kensington Market, you know it's a wild place. And I would talk to everybody, all walks of life. That, you know, there's some of the homeless people around there were on my show regularly, and I tried to get across everybody having a voice on my show. So it's a very fun show, and you'll see it's all about that championship year. And I mean, basketball is not the most important thing on that show, but I do talk a lot about the Raptors throughout the year on that and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see. They did win a lot. I believe they won like the first 8 or 10 games that season. Yeah, like right away. Scott B saying, get ready for a big season. Nick Nurse is playing with these teams. I guarantee the lack of threes is intentional because when you add that to what we have watched, the Raptors are unbeatable. Okay, so he thinks this is a strategy. I don't know because they're shooting them, they're just missing them. I don't know. I wish that what you're saying makes sense, but it doesn't totally because they did shoot a lot of threes. They just were bricking them and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Kenny's saying uninstall that analytics board at OVO training facility already. Laugh out loud. Not doing shit for us. Kenny's blaming the media wall at the new media wall at the OVO Center for what our problems are right now. The guys are too in their head about their stats. Well, that doesn't make any sense either, Kenny, because they were on the road and between Boston and Houston. They didn't come back and see the media wall between winning a great game against Boston and then going to Houston and losing a game that they probably shouldn't have lost. So the logic's not exactly right here either, Kenny. Sorry. Scott B saying them to what we watched. Facts, Cool Cat. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, see, Raptor Freak history repeats itself. People just want to have a good life. The Houston game shows critical Fred VanVleet is shows how critical Fred VanVleet is as our floor manager. Pascal and Fred VanVleet would take over a game with pick and roll. Yeah, or Fred just would make some of these threes. Like if nobody else is going to make threes, Fred will make for damn sure that he's going to make a three or something like that, and at least get that three energy going around the team and something like that. Like that is something that he could do is kickstart our threes just by making a couple himself. And he's a very capable three-point shooter. I don't care how cold everybody else is. There's something about the way Fred makes it. He's going to make them more often than he misses them. And he adjusts, and he has a short memory. He'll keep shooting even if he's missing them. Cowboy saying, I don't have Raptors tickets. Maybe I'll come just to see you guys. Oh, you don't have tickets? Well, listen, do you have money to get in? Because we can get you in there. I'm going to tell you right now, Bradley, there's going to be tickets available outside the building. In fact, we can go see Marco or Bobby. They are friends of mine, and they will be standing very close to where I will be meeting people at. And if you want to come down there and come into the building, we can get you in the building. Trust me. If you're worried about because you don't have tickets or anything, and we can probably get you in there for like $40, $50 too. It just depends on if you have the money, if you want to do this and show up. If you show up and you don't have a ticket, I will get you in the building, just so you know, Bradley. And that goes for any of y'all. If any of y'all are in Toronto and you really want to come to this game today and you don't have a ticket, I will get you in this building one way or another. It may cost like $50 to $100, but we will get you in there if you really want to come to the game. All right, y'all. I'm pretty much done. I've said my stuff. Let's see real quick recap. Our injuries are Lonzo Ball for the Chicago Bulls. That's pretty much it. It's just Lonzo. Everybody else is showing up and they're playing well. That's the thing we have to say. Billy Donovan has got the Bulls playing well so far this season. Our side of the ball is Malachi with his cheekbone. Otto Porter has a hamstring. He's still kind of out. Justin Champagne's looking like he might be still out today. And otherwise, that's our only 3 injuries. I don't think Fred's going to sit out. Now, we could see somebody like Pascal or OG sit out because they do rest games like this. And once again, we could also see a game where it's very much bench and very little starters. Although the way the starters are played, I really think he should play the starters and give them some good run to try and fix this bad taste in our mouths about them right now. Our referees are Curtis Blair, Aaron Smith, and Brent Haskell. Curtis Blair is a former player. He's a good dude. Aaron Smith's an all right dude too. 61% winning percentage with both those refs. And then the new kid, Brent Haskell. We'll have to see if Nick Nurse can push him around a little bit, maybe intimidate him as a coach. He likes to do that to his very young refs. He said that this summer. He said, there's a young ref. They're inexperienced. Maybe I can see if I can get them to do things for me and stuff like that. It's kind of what he says. And then, like I said, we need to shoot better. We need to hustle better. We need to rebound better. We need to pass the ball better, and we will win. That's what we need to do to beat the Bulls today. We need to outplay them, and they're tough. Demar is the most capable clutch player that's going to be involved in this game today. And he's somebody that we got to watch out for and stuff like that, definitely. And he does get up to play us, but it'll be nice to see him today. I always love seeing Demar and stuff like that. He's one of my favorites of all time. Mason saying, thanks, Lex. I'll be watching the game tonight. We the North. Let's go, Raps. Let's go, Raptor Freak, Mason Culligan. Thanks again for being here today, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. You guys are really helping me. I've been getting a big boost in subscriptions in the last week or so, and I hope that continues, and hopefully the Raptors' success will help me, because that really does help. If they're winning, we see more interest. If they're losing, it goes down. That's just the damn truth of it. Raptors Fanatics saying, another great stream. Enjoy the game, everyone. Yes, and go check out Logical Raptors Fanatics' new content on his channel on YouTube. It's about an hour, and it's about championship goals and Masai's strategy. Cool Cat saying, starters need game fitness. They tire easily, but I want to see the bench. Competition for spots is at a premium. Yeah. Well, we're going to have to see what we see today, Cool Cat. And I guess I'll see you in just a little while, Cool Cat. This is going to be awesome. I'm going to be so happy to see everybody. Bradley, come down there. Seriously, we'll get you in the building if you want to go. Race Mode Daily, good to see you. Let's go, Race Mode. Yeah. I'll be down there, y'all. If anybody else is going there, 420 in front of the building where the columns are. You know where I'm talking about. I'll be standing out there at 420. If you want to come meet me, I'll stand out there for about 10 minutes and then probably go into the building. If you're a little late, if you want to find us afterwards, we're going to be inside near the elevator that goes up to the practice facility and the Real Sports clothing store. And it's kind of near where Monique's seats are, I believe, and also where they have that car that's kind of sitting next to the stairs that go upstairs. You know what I'm talking about, that car over there. And that is the north west corner of the Scotiabank Arena. So if you don't get there in time to meet us at 420, we'll probably be just inside till about 5 or something like that, at least something like that. So, all right, let's go Raptors. Enjoy the day, freaks. Enjoy your day too. Also, Tom Duke, appreciate you. Thanks again for all the work you're doing with me on this channel, stuff like that. Free throws better be better. That's a really good point too. The free throws got to be better, Raptors. Do better at that. Let's get those free points from the free throw line for sure. Cool Cat. All right, take care. We'll see you later, Cool Cat, and have fun. If I don't see you, Bradley, I understand, but I hope you do show up, because like I said, we'll get you in the building. Don't worry. You don't have a ticket. We'll get you a ticket. Don't worry. All right, y'all. Remember, let's keep it all separated. We love you, Blue Jays. Our heart is just breaking to see what happened to you yesterday. But listen, we don't want your vibes. We don't want this. We have nothing to do with that kind of energy around our team, because we do things and we are successful at it and stuff like that. And I know that you guys are going to be good in the years to come. You have a great youthful nucleus, and I want to see guys succeed and bring that World Series back to Toronto and win it. But don't get it all lumped together, Toronto sports fan today. The Blue Jays have their own team, their own culture, their own thing going. The Raptors have their own thing going. The Leafs have their own thing going. Keep them separated. That is what I'm going to say to finish up. David, good to see you, David. Go Raps. All right, guys, thanks again. And let's have a good game today. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of y'all and getting loud at the Scottie Bank Arena today. All right, Tom Duke, with the 5 dinosaur lineup. Let's go Raptors!